All right.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. We got to first start doing our sharing while my baby talks. I'm going to do some sharing. Welcome, Instagram. Welcome, Facebook. Welcome, YouTube to Marriage Mondays. We're going to be discussing tonight conflict, fighting fair, war. Good God, yo, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Sure did.
Nothing. Hey Denise. Hey Yolanda.
Hey, Denise, out in Vegas.
All right. So, hope everyone had a wonderful day. It was hot here in Georgia. If you're not in Georgia,
Very hot.
it was hot, but it was a very productive day.
Mm-hmm.
I got some things done for the daycare, and he got some things done for the popcorn shop.
Sure did.
So it was a very productive day.
Yes, it was.
Hey, Nikki. Nikki said, hello, fam. Love
Hey,
and
Nikki.
war.
No war today. No war. It's all love. Just
It's
love.
all love. It's coming
That's right.
around.
She give me love, 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 crazy love.
Yeah. So we have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. All right. So we want you guys to subscribe to the YouTube page.
Yep.
We would appreciate that. The more subscribers we get, the more we can just go here.
Yeah. And we can have a better picture quality. We can do a lot more when we get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Right.
We actually, it's not just about, most people think, oh, you just want to monetize your channel. No, it's about being able to use phones, to be able to shoot videos in other locations, out and about, because we can use our phone. It also gives us the ability to do more with the videos itself. So for everybody who's on Facebook, even if you're going to watch us on Facebook all the time, go and subscribe to the YouTube page.
Yes.
And for Instagram people, you definitely need to subscribe to YouTube because Instagram only lasts an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then
we have to start it all over again. So
and we continue, but we just keep talking.
Right.
If we go over an hour.
And mommy, I'm pretty sure that y'all on YouTube. Tell daddy to pull up Facebook so y'all can comment. She hadn't figured out how to comment on YouTube.
Right.
So y'all can watch it both places, but if you want to comment, he needs to be on Facebook.
Yep.
That's for my parents, y'all.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. But for the old people, for the old.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You heard him say it.
I ain't say nothing.
All right. As always, a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. Ecclesiastes 4:12.
That's right.
Cord of 3 strands, not easily broken.
The marriage is more than the two people. Gotta have God in the center.
God in the center.
And if you don't, then you need to have some kind of spirituality in the center. Because it's more than just the flesh, the body. And what our conversation tonight.
Wait, shirts.
Oh, sorry.
Shirts.
It
says, she stole my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And mine says,
so I'm stealing his last name.
His last name.
That's right.
And the back is
the reeds.
Okay.
So, as I was saying before, I was so graciously interrupted and beautifully interrupted by my honey, is the fact that when we're talking tonight about conflict and fighting fair. The 3-strand cord is incredibly important when it comes to that, simply because if you're just fighting from a physical mind, a physical aspect, just that, then and you have no spirituality between, you don't have something more divine, more energetic connecting you, if you don't have, a center that is beyond your physical, then you're going to find yourself always in conflict, always fighting. So you got to have something that brings you together beyond the physical, right? So tonight we're going to talk about conflict fighting and not conflict fighting.
Kung Fu fighting.
We just watched Kung Fu Panda though, 2 and 3.
3, yeah.
So
with the Tyler.
Yeah, I'm trying to blame Tyler.
It was Tyler.
It was, but we'd watch it anyway because I like Kung Fu Panda.
Okay.
Like when we go to Panda Express, I call it Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, they both do because they're crazy.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, conflict, fighting fair. So the first thing we thought about was to ask the question, what conflict is to you?
Right.
Because conflict is not the same. Conflict may be one way, one thing to me, and it's not that for him. So we would really, really like y'all to start out. Hey, Keish! We would really, really like y'all to start out helping us out because we know what our answers are. Comment.
Conflict to me, honestly, is when two people have when the vision of the marriage is out of sync, and you start to you allow something to derail you from being in harmony with each other. Not that you can't have a discussion, not that you can't have a debate, but you tend to allow yourself to fall out of sorts with one another simply because you over emotionalized something, or you overthought something, or you just got it plain wrong, or the person really did something that is offensive to you to the point beyond the ability to just have a discussion about it. So when it's beyond that, then it becomes a conflict because now we have a rising of emotion. And I do have this one thing that you'll hear me say throughout this whole process. Conflicts are things that are death and dying. If it's one of the 20%, if it's one of your deal breakers, it's death or dying. If it's one of those things that you know will nag and nag and nag and nag, it's death. It's like, yes, he did this, so yes, she did that, or yeah, and it's not a big deal. The dying. If I walk in the house and I see that, let's see, what's something that would irritate me? But that's not death or dying. So if I walk in the house and I see that there's like, I don't know, shoes in the foyer. Actually, if I walk in the house and I know my baby, when she comes in the house, she takes her shoes off, she takes the purse down, she puts it all on the stairs, right? And then she goes in the house. Now, for her, anybody who goes up the stairs, grab the stuff and take it up the stairs, right? But let's say she go up the stairs and don't take it up the stairs. Of course, there's that part of me that's like, well, why you didn't pick it up and take it up the stairs? But it's not death or dying, so I just pick it up and take it up the stairs, right? So that's not worthy of a conflict. That's not worthy of saying, well, why you didn't take it upstairs and starting an issue. It's not worthy of it, so why do it? So that's what I mean by it's not death or dying. Now, I don't know. If I think she's been unfair to a family member, then yeah, we're gonna talk about it. But we'll talk about it. But it got to be death or dying level for us to have conflict about it. Okay. So hey, John, what's up, bro? Lynn, how you doing?
Okay. So Keisha said,
wait a minute, I got people. We got people over here. I'm gonna call you just producer because ain't nobody trying to say all of that.
So Keisha actually answered. Keisha said conflict is him on one page and me on another. Right.
Disharmonizing minds.
Short and sweet. That is actually to the tune of what I was going to say conflict was for me. It's being on two different pages. That even further, two different pages that cause frustration, anger, things of that nature. Like he said, the death or dying. Like, so he'll say to me sometimes, if I get bothered by something, like maybe like with my daughter yesterday, she was leaving out of the house and saying nothing to nobody, and she thinks she's wrong just because she's 23. But I'm like, you don't just leave and don't acknowledge the people in the house, especially with us standing there. And she was already agitated about something. So I actually kind of kept after her, like, you not gonna say anything? And he looked at me and it was like, is it death or dying? Said death or dying. Like, she's agitated, obviously. Let her go and then, talk about it later. So death or dying is that's a good way to put it. I've never said that to him, to be honest. But it makes sense. Death or dying. Okay. So Keisha made her comment. Thank you, Keisha. We appreciate it.
Yep. Keisha participated.
Keisha participating. Keisha get a sticker. Let me write that down. Keisha.
Wait a minute. Let me see. Keisha get a what's she at? When did she log in?
She right there. She said I'm back.
No.
It's a couple weeks.
Oh, it didn't show it.
Oh, it didn't show when she came on?
Right. Sometimes you can wave at people when they come in.
Oh, it's too late.
It didn't show it.
It went past her. Yeah.
Okay. You're going to get a special wave.
Okay, let's give her a special wave. Keisha! Go stop for Keisha. Okay. All right. So what is conflict to you? And y'all can chime in anytime. If you think about it and you want to answer, what is conflict to you? You're welcome to answer. Causes of conflict. Okay.
Go ahead and talk a little bit. No, I'm fine.
You go find because
it was on my phone.
It's on the phone. Okay, that's a new Donna right there. Cause that too.
Cause that 2021.
Keisha, girl, when you learn better, you do better. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. That girl. That's the folks that know me. Girl. Is it death or dying? I wish I had that back in the day. Death or dying.
Hey, you just went with the right person. We just going. Yeah, I'm gonna take all that credit.
Okay, so what are some causes of conflict? And he's looking up something we want y'all to hear. Yeah. So I want him to read this. Go ahead, Ben.
Okay, so just to give y'all a little bit of background. This is from a book called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Most of y'all may know Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich, but most of the things he talked about in Think and Grow Rich, he actually wrote this book first, Outwitting the Devil. And the devil is not like the ethereal devil that he's talking about. He's having a conversation with the negative portions of his brain. He's having a conversation with the devil inside. So he was talking to the devil about marriage. He's like, because being a drifter and not being focused on your relationship, not being focused on your life, your purpose is actually what throws you off, and you don't have as much happiness in life. So when Napoleon Hill asked him about marriage and how marriage is supposed to be supportive and the best relationship that you have and influential and forever and that sort of thing, the devil says that he uses marriage. Now I want you to remember, this is you, the devil, the negative portion in your brain, the devil, and how it uses marriage in order to create problems within you and everybody around you. So he said, the devil is saying, I cause men and women to drift into marriage without plan or purpose designed to convert the relationship into harmony. So that's without purpose or plan to designed to convert the relationship into harmony. Here is one of my most effective methods of converting people into the habit of drifting. I cause married people to bicker and nag one another over money matters. I cause them to quarrel over the bringing up of children. I engage them in unpleasant controversies over their intimate relationship. I engage them in disagreements over friends and social activity. I keep them so busy finding fault with one another that they never have time to do anything else long enough to break the habit of drifting. So let me expound on that just a bit. Basically, he's saying that the negative portions of our brain, our society, the way we live, the way we witness other people in marriage, we develop this idea that that we continue to argue and nitpick and find reasons to fight one another. That we argue over the children, we argue over the money, we argue over politics, we argue over friends and family. We find reason to argue, and if we're constantly in a state of arguing with one another, then we never have time to be in harmony with one another. Most people come into a marriage without a definiteness of purpose of the marriage or plan. What does it look like? We have fairy tale ideas, but we don't have a definite image that we sit down with our spouse, future spouse, and say, what does this marriage look like? This is what counseling is supposed to be about, but we don't do this most of the time. And he's saying that when we go into the marriage without that plan, without that mindset, without an idea of how we're going to keep the harmony, then all these other attributes come into play to create disharmony in the marriage, and it continues on and on and on and on, even to the point where some people think that's a good marriage. Right? If we're not arguing, then we're not married. Or we argue, but then the passion afterwards is so wonderful. Right. So we got to argue to have this passion. You should be, I got married to be happy all the time. That's why my what's my favorite saying?
Back to happy.
Right. We have a conflict. I'm like, they get back to happy because okay, we had the issue, we talked about it, we had our feelings all in it. Let's get back to happy. Because I got married to be happy. I didn't get married to be sad or to be arguing. But he's saying that how he uses those things and what do we know? Most marriage ends because of money issues, sex issues. Mm-hmm. And he's saying that the negative portion of the brain is there to continue that process, keep you arguing over these things instead of these things being bliss for you, because that's what they should be. They should be elements of bliss within your marriage. Even when you struggle. When you struggle financially, it shouldn't be, and I don't know if I'm going too far, but when you struggle financially, it should not be, I'm mad at her or she's mad at me. You should have did this and you should have did that. Instead, it should be, all right, baby, we are challenged with a financial issue. How are we going to come together as a team to solve this issue? It should be more of a game of how we're going to overcome this thing and stick to whatever plans that we come up with, but still have so much fun and that sort of thing in the process. Making a problem into a challenge makes it fun, and y'all going at it together, which brings you closer together. You know, so, but he's saying is that we are so quick to engage in the negative and want to fight. You know, it's about sex. Let's fight about it instead of working through it. You know, that's right, Charisma. Best couple ever. Hits, Nikki. How you doing?
Okay. So that was a great statement. He read that earlier, and I thought we both thought it would be perfect to add into this causes of conflict. So again, you guys definitely give us your thoughts. Give us your thoughts. There are different causes of conflict. This one talked about several different causes, and it may not have hit a reasoning for conflict between you and your spouse.
Yeah. Has any of these been a conflict between you and yours? Has disagreement about friends and social activities? You know, fighting over the children, how to raise them. You know, especially we talked about blended families last week. That could be a big issue when concerning blended families. Does that keep you at odds? Huh?
A big tension.
Yeah. You know, is it money? Is money a problem? Is intimacy a problem? You know, within the marriage, and do you walk around? All right. So since we're waiting on people to type something, we're gonna do this exercise. Everybody ready to do this exercise? All right. And it correlates with that one.
Okay. So I'm glad you said that because I actually wanted to read that one again.
Okay.
So I want to read that one again.
Can we do the exercise first?
You don't want them to know why the exercise?
No.
Okay. All right.
Stick to the plan, but we can revise the plan also as we travel. Oh, heck no. We're not reading Jackson's comment. We're not reading your comment, Jackson.
Thank you, Jackson.
So we know what Planet Rock is.
Oh, yeah, we know. Jackson was like, y'all don't know about that music.
If y'all don't know, we do car karaoke on our Facebook channel, and Jackson told us we don't know nothing about Planet Rock
yesterday.
We know about that.
This one right here.
We in our 40s.
Broke a sweat in the
truck.
I was
yeeking in that jump.
I was driving, so. But anyway.
All right. So everybody, we're gonna do an exercise. Everybody ready? We're gonna do an exercise. All right. So here's the and some of you may already know this exercise, but if you know it, just do it anyway and participate. All right. And you got to do it too.
Okay.
All right. All right. So I want you to right now look around the room that you're in. Look around, find everything in the room that's red. Look around the room that you're in right now. Find everything that is red. Look around, find everything that is red. Find what is red. Find what is red. Hurry up. Look. You found what's red? All right, now close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. What in the room was green? What'd you see in the room that was green?
that little sit up thing over there. I think. Tell my.
All right, everybody, open your eyes. Now look around the room and see how many things in the room are green. How many greens do you see now? You said one, and one was correct. What else in the room is green?
Yeah.
You gotta say it. They can't see it.
Oh, the step.
The stepper.
That bag.
The bag.
Oh.
The motorcycle.
The
thing.
motorcycle.
The ladder.
Yeah, the ladder.
The green hand over there.
Oh yeah.
Right in front of you, the green top on your bottom.
Oh, the green top on my.
The green thing over there.
On the back. Oh.
Right.
Green. Okay.
So there was a lot of green in the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now read your statement.
Okay. I keep them busy finding fault with one another that they never have time to do anything else long enough to break the habit of drifting.
Can I tell you how the exercise go inside with that?
Mm-hmm.
If all you're doing with your mate is looking for one particular thing, looking for the negative, that's what you're going to find. But all the other beauty that surrounds you, you will never notice it because you're so focused on finding what's wrong. This is the exercise Tony Robbins kind of made famous. But as long as you're looking for all the lotion bottle. But if all you're looking for, if you look for brown, you're going to find brown. If you look for red, you're going to find red. But in all of that, we're actually in this room surrounded by tons of color. You're surrounded by tons of color in your life. Your mate has tons of color about them. But if all you're looking for is the one, if you're constantly looking for the one thing to argue about and finding fault, that's all you're ever going to see. Nothing else.
That's
Go ahead.
Good.
I know I kind of stole that from you. Well, you got to.
No, it's fine because I just wanted to read it again because it stood out so much, and the fact that you were thinking and you said you want to do this one right here, and I hadn't even said that. That was like that.
That's called synchronicity.
What?
I was trying to say it, but you said it. That's called synchronicity.
Thank you. Synchronicity.
Right.
We do that a lot, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. It's funny. We do that a lot. I'm thinking something, and he says it, or vice versa.
Yep. Or we be thinking like to go do something.
Like, like for example, we're looking for a house. Yep. Right? We're looking for a new home. We want to purchase a new home.
We ain't looking. I already found a house I want.
Well, we did. We found a house.
Looking still.
We concluded on a house, but he gets up in the morning and he comes down to his quiet place and he meditates. He goes into his time of meditation. And when I get up in the morning, it takes me a minute to get out the bed. So there are times where I will roll over and get on my knees and go into prayer, or I'll stay right there in the bed and me and the Father are talking. We just praying. So the other morning, he went downstairs. He came back up after about maybe a half hour or so. And he was like, babe, I got this idea. He was like, this is what we're going to do. I don't care if you agree with it or not, because I've received this. This is what we're going to do, because it's going to be for the betterment of the family. And for example, for the betterment of the family. And he was like, this is the house. This is why this is the house. And this is what we're going to do. When I woke up that morning, in my prayer was the first thing in my head was that house. And in my prayer, I didn't ask for the house because we demand things from the Father because he said we could. I didn't ask for the house. I told him that I wanted that house. And when he came and said that, he was like, which thing? Really don't matter which thing, because I made the decision. Which thing. And I'm like, wow, because I was already there. So that's what?
Synchronicity.
Yeah. It happens a lot, y'all. It does. And
that's a good thing. I mean, because when you're
that's why I know he made the right choice.
So anyway, right? So when you're in harmony with one another, you have a lot more synchronicity that goes on within your relationship, which then makes life a heck of a lot easier. because then you don't have an idea. You don't like. I came down here, I was meditating, and then in my meditation, it was like, wow, this old download came down. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go tell her. And I ain't gonna lie, I was prepared for a little bit of a pushback. That's why I was like, I don't care what you say, this is what it's gonna be. Because I was ready for the pushback, but there was no pushback because our synchronicity is growing more and more and more. And I will tell you, one of the reasons why our synchronicity is growing more and more because our conflict resolution has diminished greatly because we have a deeper bond than just the physical, right?
Yep.
Than just what people have. Because some of you know I don't claim to be a human, but more than that,
act like he's not a human,
right? No, I'm a divine spiritual being. Just happen to be taking a break on Earth, dealing with these humans. So anyway.
Okay. So, but yeah, I mean it's true. We made a commitment at the beginning. That's why we have this back here. That strand of 3 cords, that center strand gets us in the mind, our mindsets. When 2 become 1. And it happens a lot. It's crazy. It's hard for us to actually be upset with each other for a long period of time. When I say long period of time, I'm talking about more than an hour or 2 hours or overnight. Does it happen sometimes? Yes, it does. But it never lasts.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole point is not just getting back to happy, but him getting me back to happy and me getting him back to happy.
Right.
Okay. So, fighting fair. What is not fighting fair?
Yeah.
Share with us because we have what's not fighting fair. We have what is fighting fair. Share with us what's not fighting fair. Some of you guys' thoughts on what's not fighting fair.
Yep. Let's get into the meat of it.
We're gonna
What's
give
up,
y'all
John?
We're gonna give y'all a second.
Millie.
What's not fighting fair?
While we're giving you a second, let's pause for a momentary break to invite everyone to come and join us at our wedding on February 21st, 2021 at the Georgia Aquarium. You can still RSVP by going to tagteammarriage.com. We ask that your presence be our present. So do not think to come and register for any kind of thing of that nature, but just take care of your food and beverage, which will be catered to you by Wolfgang Puck, a world famous chef at the Georgia Aquarium. We look forward to you joining us, but go to tagteammarriage.com VP today so that you can join us at the Georgia Aquarium for our wedding in 2021, February 21st, catered by Wolfgang Puck. Thank you very much.
All right.
So, none of you are commenting on what's not fighting fair. So we're gonna go ahead and start.
Uh-huh.
So what is not fighting fair, honey?
Not fighting fair. Not fighting fair is purposely trying to hurt the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Purposely trying to hurt the other person. When you know what you're going to say or what you're going to do is going to hurt that other person's feelings, it's going to hurt them physically, mentally, it's going to hurt them. That is not fighting fair when you purposely try to hurt your spouse.
This is a big one for me. Profanity. Personally, I find it abhorrent when I see couples who are having a conflict or an issue and they are cursing at each other. That Kenyatta said low blows, Sunbeam said low blows and bringing up the past if not fighting is not fighting fair. Hey, yep, bringing up the past. We got that one. That's one of them we got in there. Low blows and using the deepest pain which is shared with you against one another. That's true too. Using those, I've told you a secret of mine and you use that. Mm-hmm. I told you something that's deep core to me and you use that to try to hurt me. Right. So that's like, those are the kind of things that you're trying to hurt somebody on purpose. And profanity, I hate watching. My baby loves this show and I like it a lot.
Which one?
Married at First Sight.
He like Married at First Sight. What did I do now, y'all?
But what kills me in these reality shows is when the couples are like, they'll F you in a heartbeat. And to me, it's like, okay, you may apologize for that, but you meant it when you said it. And when you said it, forget that sticks and stones will break my bones and words will never hurt me. No, words cause people to have eating disorders. Words cause people to go into depression. Words create armies. Words created the wars that we've been in. Words have created the separation that we all have on this planet. So best believe words can create war and separation within your marriage. So there is absolutely no way I'm going to use profanity towards my wife. I don't use. You go to work and work for somebody you can't stand, and I dare you to go use profanity towards them when y'all at work and y'all having a disagreement. But you're gonna come home to your wife, the person that you say you want to spend the rest of your life with. If this is the mother of your children, the one that's the mother of your children, and even though she's not biologically the mother of my children, she's still the mother of my children. Are you seriously? I'm going to be more respectful to some joker out on the street than I'm gonna be to my wife? No, no. Don't do it. Keep the profanity. Okay, baby, go ahead so I can get off my soapbox.
Yeah, that's a big one. Name calling.
Oh, yeah. Right there with profanity.
Yeah, it is. It's right there with profanity. I mean, you ain't no good. You cheat. You you lazy. You whine all the time. You know, name calling. Name calling is not fighting fair. Not fighting fair. Especially if you know. Ladies, say for instance your man is in a situation financially he may not be where he wants to be. And he's getting to that point or whatever. And everything you say to him points to the fact that he's financially not where he wants to be. That is name calling. That's not fighting fair. Not fighting fair.
It's not. And when they come back and kick you in the butt, you're gonna feel it.
Right.
Don't want something. Here's the thing about marriage. I heard this said once, and it's true to a degree. Your spouse is a reflection of you. Right? You are a great influence on your spouse. Your spouse is becoming what you are giving to your spouse, what you're cultivating, what you're framing. So when you are if you name call your wife or name call your husband, you're framing them in that name. And when it comes back to you, don't complain about it because that's what you put out. That's what you put out. And as Jackson said, digging into the past, right? You've had past. We 48.
I'm sorry, Jackson actually didn't say that.
Yeah. Deepest pain was shared with you against. Oh, who said that? Oh, Sunbeam.
Sunbeam. Oh,
yeah, the past was fighting fair, right?
Sunbeam.
Sorry, I gave somebody else. Yeah, Jackson, you didn't get no credit tonight.
Jackson said low blows. Kenyatta said low blows. Yeah. Everybody's on the same phrase.
But yeah, so Sunbeam. But digging up that past stuff, it's like we've been married before.
That's actually on the paper.
Yeah, it is. So I can't, if we get into an argument and I make a comment about one of her past relationships, that's a low blow. That's digging into the past, and trying to make her feel bad and hurt her based on something she did in a previous relationship. And it goes back the same way, because if I say that to her, then I should be expecting it to come back to me. Because it's ROI, return on investment, or you can call it planting seed. The seed in the farmer. You plant a seed, it's gonna grow and germinate. It may not come back immediately, but it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back.
Hey, Shell.
So what's the saying you were talking about? President Orange the other day, throwing stones and hiding your hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't bring up a person's past. Even if it's not, if they struggled, like they were talking about finance, if they struggled financially in a portion of their past, if they look, I was homeless twice by my own choice, but I was still homeless. If my baby threw that up in my past, threw that up at me, then it's like, oh, okay, you trying to use something that I shared with you,
right?
In order to hurt me in this argument, because of whatever the situation is, right? So then, when I throw it back, there's nothing to say about it.
Right.
because
Right.
you cast a stone.
And then feelings want to get hurt.
And
Oh, you said that?
Mhm.
Oh, you.
And we all live in glass houses. Every last one of us
Hey,
lives
Chuck.
in a glass house.
Yep.
Chuck Evans.
But what if
Oh,
it's
that's not my Chuck.
what?
That's your Chuck.
Oh, but what if it slips out by accident?
Ain't nothing slipping out by accident.
It's not by accident. You're thinking it.
Right.
You're thinking it. And if you're thinking it, you need to understand and know why you're thinking it.
But stay tuned, and we're going to tell you why it slips out by accident. And well, it doesn't slip out, but why it's not an accident. But what you can do to make sure that things don't slip out by accident. Because I can honestly say, and I'm not bragging, but I'm bragging. But at 48 years old, I have never, ever called a woman out of her name or yell and scream at a woman in an argument. Never. Well, and that was I was like romantically involved with. And some lady said something to my child once. She got cussed out.
That's different.
Yeah, that's different.
That's different. You say something to my babies.
But we're gonna go over some of the things as to why, because it's a concept that I realized at a very young age and why I developed into that type of person. So we're gonna look at what is fighting fair. What does fighting fair look like in the reality? Go ahead, baby.
Okay.
Take that first one.
Fighting fair.
Tell them what it is.
If you're fighting fair, you're looking. My ex did.
I left his assets.
Wait a minute. Your ex did what?
He did what?
He let it slip out by accident.
What did he let
what
slip out?
What did he do?
Because I will fight a person.
But y'all don't know. Charisma Wall is my daughter.
Is our daughter.
Is our daughter.
And I will fight somebody over
my daughter. What your ex do, Charisma?
Because, hey, this short drive.
What? Okay. We'll talk
later.
After you come down.
When the camera stop rolling, y'all, it's going to be a whole nother conversation. It's going to be
He used to yell at me. And yes, my flaw. And use my flaws against me. Hence the word X.
Right. And here's the thing, guys. This is another this is another thing that Napoleon Hill had in the book Outwitting the Devil. Napoleon Hill had asked, aren't all marriages made in heaven? And the devil chuckled and said, nope. So a bunch of them made on my side. Every marriage is not made in heaven. Every relationship is not made in heaven. Every relationship is not made to last.
That's right.
So when there is a point of disharmony that occurs within a relationship, and it's not just marriage, it could be brother, sister, cousin, mother, everybody.
Right.
Any relationship. If the disharmony becomes so great, it's time to remove yourself from that relationship.
Right.
It's time to go. Not just when they're physically abusive or mentally abusive or anything like that. If someone is into such a degree where it stops you from being you, when it stops you from being you don't need to be there.
Right.
When it stops you from living the life that you desire to live, you don't need to be there. You really don't. Because your first responsibility is to yourself. Because if you're not happy and you don't love yourself, you can't possibly be in a harmonized relationship and be happy with somebody else. Because I can never make Donna happy. And she can never make me happy.
Right.
I have to first find happiness here. And then she augments my happiness. Just as she has to find happiness here. And then it is my goal, my job, to augment her happiness. Right? That's how that works. Nobody's going. She has to be complete. I can't complete her.
Right.
I know we love that song. Who sang that song? Somebody sang some song about you.
You complete me.
Yeah.
I've just heard it on a movie.
Oh, was it a movie?
Tom. What is it?
Not
Tom Hanks. What is
Show Me the Money.
Yeah, Show Me the Money.
So sorry, the movie.
You had hello.
So anyway.
Stupid. We would do this all day by ourselves.
No, we don't need any job for that. So I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
So you were right. If someone's doing that, you have to find it in yourself and need desire to walk away from that.
Right. Love yourself enough to walk away.
Right. Because most of the time, let's remember, most of the time when people do that, they're dealing with insecurities of their own. They want to throw it off on somebody else.
That's right.
They will. Okay. So these are the fighting fair. What fighting fair is.
And y'all tell us what y'all believe fighting fair is.
Fighting fair is.
See, you can beat us down our list before we get down the list.
So the first thing we put on this list was looking for resolution. If you have a disagreement, an argument, or a fight, well, okay, yeah, fighting fair, which encompasses all of that. And your purpose and point is not a resolution to the problem, then you go back onto the not fighting fair side. The purpose is looking for a resolution. Next.
The next one that we wrote down is respectfully disagree. There is absolutely no way we're going to agree on everything. I don't even want us to agree on everything. You imagine we agreed on everything, that'd be boring. But you're not going to always agree. But you have to be respectful towards each other's opinion. Now, of course, there are situations where you do have to come to a resolution, but okay, we disagree. We're going to respectfully agree to disagree with each other on this. But in order to move forward, this is what we're going to have to do, or this is what the situation is going, to be. Right. Because right now we have a respectful disagreement. It's major, y'all. It's major. It is so major. It's huge. And we believe in being transparent. Right? So my family, we're doing our 23rd annual family vacation in Labor Day weekend. We got a brand new truck a month and a half ago. Somebody in this room wants to rent a vehicle to drive down to Orlando instead of using the SUV that we bought. Somebody wants to spend extra money to do that. While the other person thinks it's crazy to spend extra money to make that drive, right? When you have a vehicle purposely for that, right? So we just had to disagree. We still in disagreement about it, but then we just had to say, this is just what we gonna do, and we have to do things that way. You see how the ding goes off? He did that perfectly last week too.
Oh, when you finish the statement and it ding, whatever.
But I mean, I know that's not a big deal, but the fact of the matter is,
it was to him. He got all salty and all his feelings. Was like, we don't need to rent nothing. We got a new truck. Where we go drive this? I just felt like, I'm big on preserving what you have for the long term, and to put all those miles on it. Like when we're planning to buy our home,
you see how she argues,
it's going to take us. No, I'm not. I'm just telling them what I was saying about it. You said what you
They're not going to get on your side like they did in that other conversation.
No, they're on my side. I'm just telling them what my point was. You gave your whole point.
I did not give. I made it vague. I didn't say
you
who
gave
said
it,
what.
You gave it. You did. No. They know you don't want to. You don't want to rent.
I didn't say that. I didn't say me.
Anyway, I said I think we should preserve for the long term. If we could just rent something, use that to be damned, and bring it back, then we're preserving.
See, look, Jackson. You know what?
Jackson.
Your bro card. I'm taking your bro card, man. You on her side every time.
The truck we bought is for family use on a consistent. Let me finish. On a consistent every day. The house that we're planning on buying, it takes us both further from work. So there's going to be a lot more miles put on the truck and then my car.
Right.
Because at a point it was just kind of like driving one, but now, two. So I'm like, we going on a trip. How many hours? 7 hours. Let's rent something, mileage it all up, and give it back.
So
the truck is here at home, preserving the miles that we have to put on it. Jackson, right? If something happened and break down, that's not on us, Jackson. They have to bring us a whole new truck.
That's what insurance and all that stuff is for.
Why we want deductibles and whatnot?
Okay, so 23rd annual family vacation. Literally 50 to 70 people going down to Orlando.
I want to stop and pull over there.
Hadn't been down there in about 5-6 years. The toddler who lives with us, he hasn't been. I'm getting there.
We need to speed it up because me and Jackson have made our point.
So the toddler ain't been, right? The toddler ain't been, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, he's.
I mean, he's been, but he was little. He don't remember nothing.
No, he went
So
he
they got,
remember. He's 11 now. He went when he was 9 or 10.
He don't remember.
I rent all the time. I don't want nothing to happen
Shush it,
to something
Latanya.
that I own. Latanya, thank you.
Shush it up.
Thank you.
Hush.
We on this trip out here. Somebody hit the truck.
Linda. Listen. So here's the thing. We ain't renting a truck because when we get down there, I want to have the absolute most money we can have. Because we going to Universal, we going to Disney, we going to Epcot,
we still gonna do
we
all
going
that.
to some water park, we gotta go to some botanical garden. We gonna be down there for a few days. Like we don't go on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We gonna get there on Thursday.
I also rent if it's far. I'm sorry.
Shush it up, Nikki.
We got 3. Anybody else? Come on.
No, Nikki, you live everywhere is far for y'all.
No, it's not. They live in Columbus.
Right, in the country.
They do not.
Country Columbus.
So let me keep score. Who else? Bruh, if you rent, you ain't gotta worry about nothing. Just gas around.
And the payment. And the
what
money.
Payment?
Look, that's a whole going to do something while we there.
Hey, my girl is an exec at Enterprise.
That's a whole doing something.
How many times
you know what? I don't like
have I rented at full price?
I don't like none of y'all.
No worries, rent. There you go, Nick.
I don't like none of y'all.
Okay.
None of y'all.
All right.
All y'all fired.
We'll let y'all let y'all know.
Nikki, you ain't my sister no more.
You know what? I have to answer this because she should be on YouTube watching this.
Nikki,
and not calling me.
Nikki, you're not my sister no more.
Okay, I'm hanging up because you watching.
Then why she calling?
Right. Why you calling? Love you.
She told me she want to interact.
You got to type.
Type, woman.
She said rent from the airport is cheap.
Shush it, Latanya.
Latanya, my girl. All right. So that was the.
Are you keeping track for real?
I am. That was the conflict that wasn't death or dying for me, but it was death or dying for him because he literally got really upset. Like we were riding, and I said, you know what, we could table this because the trip is not until September. Mm-hmm. And he was like, well, if you wait till September to talk about it again, then it's going to be on our minds till September. I said, no, it's going to be on your mind till September.
Sure would.
Because I already know what I would want to do with that.
And let me tell you why it's messing with me. It's all about budgeting.
We can budget that.
No.
We can budget that added to the trip.
And the whole time we thinking like, that, what did somebody say? $250 for a Volvo truck? I'll be thinking $250. What else could we have done with that $250? What other fun could we have had when we have adult night and we leave everybody at the house? What fun could we have had with $250? I can do a lot with $250 on a vacation.
But if we allocate the $250 to be for the trip, everything that encompasses in the trip,
it's still gonna be we spent $250 on the trip.
Listen, we bought a 2019 Nissan Armada. We're gonna wave at y'all when we're going to Orlando in September. It's something else.
No, we're not. We're gonna be in that Armada.
Aretha, go ahead and get sister set up for that, please. My girl Aretha go hook us up. You gonna be like, that wasn't what? $100? Let's roll.
When we do Marriage Monday on Sunday when we're down there, because on Monday we'll be driving back, I guarantee you we're gonna walk out and show you the Nissan.
The rates are gonna be cheaper. Jackson.
Shush it. No, it's not.
All right.
No, actually,
don't worry about y'all.
Labor Day weekend rates are always higher because we rent like these 18-pack vans every time we go, and it's always much higher during that time.
It's not gonna be high.
You can't count Jackson every time he says something.
I can. Jackson is saying the right thing.
He's saying multiple things.
No, he didn't.
No, he said it more than once about the same thing. He's already been on your side. That's why he took his bro card.
Right, but he's still saying the same thing.
So he just say things 50 times. You gonna count 50 strikes?
50. Oh, you said, oh, no. I was doing something else. I was doodling.
Oh.
I wasn't keeping
Okay,
score.
So anyway, the other portion.
What if you catch a
Look, this is not about the trip.
Jackson.
Trip.
What I'm talking about.
It's called a full-size spare that comes with the SUV, is what it's called. And roadside assert.
That we will have to replace when we get back. Because it
plug the hole.
Something. I don't want to drive nothing plug.
Plug. Good. Anyhow. So the other part that is fair fighting, even though this is yours, even though it's similar to the top one, but
looking to solve. Oh, okay.
yeah, looking to
how did I
solve.
write that
I
twice?
don't know.
So looking to solve. Looking to solve. Yeah, pretty much same thing. Y'all loud right under my room. I don't know why this helper thinks something belong to her in this house. Why she think that? You look, that's a loaner. That's a rental. Your room.
Come down here and get this right here.
Yeah.
Come get this right here.
Get that right there.
Get that right there.
You can say what's yours.
Nah, that one too low actually. That one too low. I don't want to give her that.
Oh yeah, don't give her that one.
Yeah, that's just gas. Gas bill. That one
Yeah.
too low.
That's all right. Hey Israel.
What up, Israel?
So yes, looking for resolution, looking to solve the problem. That is fighting fair. You go into a fight, wanting to resolve it as opposed to winning. That was one of our conversations.
Right.
Yes, case closed, Nikki. Thanks.
Yeah, we not right.
Oh, charisma. Let's not make this a moment about you.
I know this is about us. Wait, actually,
wait a minute. She said her own bills. What about the bills in here?
I know.
What about the ones?
I mean, she breathing the air,
right?
Using the light, the electricity,
driving that car,
yeah. Eat all the food.
Her daddy already. I mean,
eating the food. I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay.
So actually, there is a slight difference in looking for resolution and looking to solve the problem. Because looking for resolution happens early on. If you start doing that early on, where you say, okay, we need to look for a resolution. I need to let me open my mind, open my heart, open my thought process. But then after each point has been heard, how do we solve this?
How you solve it?
What is the what's the solution?
Correct.
So that we are done with this and we can get back to happy. So I can see that. So go ahead and take the next one.
Yeah, we solved it, Nikki. Taking care of each other. Well, I wrote this on them.
Can't read on handwriting.
Oh, taking care of each other's feelings.
Yes.
If we're in a disagreement, we're in an argument, we're fussing, arguing about something, should I forget about his feelings in the process? Should I forget that at some point this argument will end? Should I leave him feeling broken, feeling disrespected, shamed, or whatever? So if I'm fighting fair, I'm going to take care of his feelings. And I'm going to tell y'all a big one for me. Let me tell y'all what I have a problem with. And I used to have a problem with this more so, but it's still it's got a little bit in there still. It's an issue for me. Like, if I'm arguing with you, if I'm having a disagreement with you, if it's pleasant, if I'm telling you what I don't like and it's pleasant, well, it didn't stick. There was nothing to it that made it. You didn't understand. Unless I'm yelling or unless I'm like, we gonna stay mad at each other for a minute about this. You didn't understand and you didn't get what I was saying. So I have to make sure, because if I'm angry with it, then I'm making sure he got my point.
You saying, I ain't gonna understand what you just said.
Yeah, I know you weren't.
But you're saying that if you don't get all hyped up,
in a sense, yeah.
In a sense, then you don't feel like that I'm getting.
Like, you understand I'm mad about this. It's like being nonchalant about something.
And y'all wanna know what's crazy about that?
Can y'all
say I do that?
Mm-hmm.
The type of person that I am, when all of that happens, I ain't paying attention to nothing that you're saying. Really. All I'm focused on now is, why are you raising your voice? Who you yelling at? Do I look like the toddler? So, yeah.
But I do. To me, and I'm honest. I'm being honest. I used to do that. Like, if I didn't make you mad in return for me being mad.
Oh, so I must just piss you off all the time.
Then no.
Because I don't get mad.
No. Because no. You trying to make me say something. No, you don't. You don't piss me off all the time. You actually don't. But I did. I used to feel like, if this gonna be a fight, it's gonna be a fight. I used to have this thing I used to say, I can't beat no man physically. a physical altercation between me and a man, I'm not going to win. I'm not going to beat him physically, but he will know I was there. I literally used to say that. He gonna know I was there. So in the same context, I did. I used to feel like that. I did. I used to feel like the argument.
I'm glad you said used to, baby.
The argument has to be heated. The argument had to be heated. It had to, in order for it to just say, like, if I'm walking away and you sitting there like, okay, ooh, what you mean, okay?
I see that. Okay.
But
she jumped on that soapbox, didn't she?
Is it fighting fair? Did it solve anything? Did it help the situation? No, it did not. So that's why I said in fighting fair, you have to consider the other person's feelings.
Right. I mean, and that goes the whole time frame. I mean, that's why the things that are not fighting fair is there. If you look at the end of the day, yeah, solving the problem, all those kind of things. Yeah, you can curse somebody out and solve the problem, but you can call them names and still solve the problem. But what you are not doing is taking care of their feelings,
right.
Taking care of their emotions. Because if I've shamed you about, think about it. If I've told you something that is, I haven't told anybody else, this is something private, and then use that against me, do you think I'm going to tell you something private again?
Right.
We've had an argument about this, but the trust is now gone. Because I can't trust you with my feelings. I can't trust you with my deepest secrets. I can't even trust you with my regular. And then I can't even, and if you cursing at me and calling me names, I can't trust you that you gonna be like,
you disrespecting me at this point. Right.
Because the next thing I know, we're gonna be in front of the family and you're gonna be calling me all kind of names, and all kind of stuff going on. So it's like, you gotta, if you put the taking care of the feelings at the beginning, baby don't know, but anytime we have an argument, right? Anytime we have, and this is every time, every time. Sometimes when she's going in saying what she wants to say.
Hey man, what you mean? I'll go in and say what I want.
But I gotta say it that way. It's my way of saying it. So like when she going in, y'all, and she be throwing stuff, and she don't throw stuff. I'm just playing. Jokes. It's jokes. Don't come get her, Nikki. It's jokes. But
Nikki don't like you like that.
I got all the sisters. So you call Claudette. But anyway, I will sit there and I take a moment and I will be like, all right, universe, let me be of right mind to say the right things and the right words. Let me take the right action. Before I say anything, that is the first thought that comes to me. Now, do I always follow it? No. Or does it always work out? No. But most of the time it does. Most of the time it does.
And this is one reason why you don't piss me off. Because I know that. Like, if I'm upset about something, you don't have to tell me. Your actions show that. Which, of course, makes me respond.
You're telling all my secrets.
Which makes me respond. Why are you touching stuff? Stop touching stuff.
The daylight thing.
It's okay.
I forgot to change it.
It's not going to make us darker, I don't think.
Okay. I don't know. I can't tell.
Don't you clear off.
No.
Don't you do it. Just hit the screen.
There we go. Go ahead, baby.
Keep talking. But no, your live is gone.
No.
So,
keep going.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, he said earlier about him pissing me off, and actually, it's very, very rare that he does piss me off because I already know by his actions. I already know that if I'm upset about something and I'm like really heated, he's gonna take that minute first to think about how he should respond, which in turn changes how I respond.
Yeah. Go to the next one.
Okay.
While I'm fiddling around.
Okay. So you guys didn't give us any comments. Some of y'all didn't. Well, we had a few on always touching stuff.
What? Dang.
On what's not fighting fair and what is fighting fair. So the last portion that we're going to talk about, because it's 10, the last part that we had, what rules the two develop for conflict. It's very important to develop rules for conflict. Like when we first started dating, when we first realized that we were going to make this thing happen and we were going to be together, we sat down and we talked about deal breakers. We talked about this in the previous video as well. We talked about deal breakers.
Good evening.
And what things for him was a deal breaker. What things for me was a deal breaker. The same in the same aspect.
It's cricket.
In the same aspect, we should talk about what rules there are to fighting. There are rules to war. Yep. You can't just be in war and just shooting people and just whatever willy-nilly. You can't do it. Although it is war, there are rules of engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Have rules. You should have rules. And sometimes these rules don't come up until a certain situation happens. Like you can sit down and jot down some rules, but sometimes you never know until the situation happens. So one of the rules we have about 4 that we wrote down. And y'all can share with us if you guys have some. What rules the two develop? First one is don't start a discussion when you already mad.
Mm-hmm.
When you're already angry. Because if you go into that discussion when you're already angry, you're already mad, your focus is not going to be resolution or solving. You already heated. Because I need you to know what I'm mad. So don't go into a discussion when you're angry.
So the second one is go in the corner and take a time out if things escalate. No, but for real. Yeah, you need a timeout. All right. So if y'all are just going back and forth, repeating the same thing over and over again, neither one of y'all listening to each other. You just you're fighting to win at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You're not fighting to resolve. You're not fighting for a solution. You're not being respectfully disagreeable to it. You're respectfully disagreeing with one another. You're just looking to win now. You're looking for, I want to get my point across, or I'm just mad. So you have to be willing to take a timeout. A timeout may look like one of you going to get in the car and taking a drive. It may be going to take a walk. For me, it may be go to meditate. It may be going to do some work or go do anything. But to take a break and say, all right, we need it depends on the level of the argument. I mean, you may need an hour. You may need 4 or 5 hours. But how much time you need, be willing to take a timeout to go and think about it. And here's the thing. A lot of times when we've taken a timeout, it's actually given me an opportunity to understand her better, to understand, okay, now that I've gotten past okay, I'm not thinking about what I want to say in response. I'm not reacting. I'm actually now I'm hearing what she said. I'm hearing other thoughts that I'm having. And I'm really getting more into, well, where is she coming from with this? And what does it mean? And of course, is it death or dying? Right? That timeout gives you a moment to just breathe and, let that good, however you do it, go pray, go meditate, go let that good energy in so that you can breathe out some of that negative energy and be able to come back. That happened like, what? Oh, Facebook, get your stuff together. Like a week ago, me and baby got into a heated argument, and we were both mad, and we separated. She did her thing, I was doing my thing, but then after about an hour, 2 hours, about an hour, I was like, look here, woman, come here, let me talk to you, and we went, we talked. But in that hour that I was working while we were separated, it made me realize that I passed along my agitation from other stuff towards her, which was wrong. I'm one of those people where I am super time conscious. If I say I want to leave at 3 o'clock, it does not mean 3:15. It does not mean anything of that sort. It means 3 o'clock.
And me, on the other hand.
Right. This other hand, no. So I'm already irritated, agitated, and then the U-Haul people was messing up the reservation. How they hold a reservation? What was the Seinfeld episode when they say you're good at taking a reservation?
Okay, then go to bed.
It's the holding of the reservation that's the problem. Get to the U-Haul place, they throw me off another hour and some change. Then it starts raining, and then I got to go to another place to get the part. So I'm pissed already.
Yeah, he was heated.
I'm already heated because all these people, they throw my time off, and people can't act like they stupid, can't get no work done. They call and say, "Oh, you can go over here and pick this up," and then other people come and say, "Oh, we ain't got it." So I'm mad.
So who is the target?
So right, we take out so many things on our spouses that they should be the one that we come to and be. What should have happened is me coming to my babe and be like, baby, I'm pissed, I'm frustrated, I'm irritated right now, and God dog it, you need to do your wifey duty. Give me some sugar, rub my back, do something because I'm pissed off right now. Tell me to go take a walk, go breathe, whatever. That's how I should have came, but instead I took my frustration out on her when she did something that I didn't like, and so then I just went off. I didn't go off. I don't go. I just looked at her funny.
Yeah, he kept looking at me.
I kept
funny.
looking at her funny,
and of course I responded.
Reacted.
I reacted. I didn't respond.
You did not respond because that's the thing.
Okay, I reacted.
And looking for a solution, even when our mate comes at us or looking at us funny, we have to say, okay, something going on with my spouse.
Love you, Nikki.
Yeah, something going on with my spouse. I know this joke ain't mad at me about this. So something going on with my baby. Let me find out what's really going on.
But I did recognize that. And I took myself out of the scenario. And it probably did not, I'm sure it did not help him at the moment. But I felt like it was better for me because now, mind you, I didn't leave him by himself. He had help. He did have help. So I felt like the best thing to do was to take myself out of the scenario. So I went upstairs, relaxed a little bit, came back downstairs. We had a chance to talk about it. Went back and forth for a second, but he realized the error of his ways.
Whatever. Take the win graciously.
This is continuing to come up in my mind, and I want to say something because it's hitting hard in my mind. It keeps coming, and I think more so because there may be somebody that's thinking this. So in all of our videos, y'all will notice that Lorenzo is usually the one that comes and apologizes and acknowledges, hey DJ, and acknowledges that there's something wrong, that there's an issue, that there's a problem. He is 9 times out of 10 the one that will do that. Within conflict, we talked about at the beginning what conflict is to you. And I really believe the reason we respond the way we do when it comes to us having arguments and disagreements is because of his mindset about conflict and my mindset about conflict and the things we talked about within here. But what I'm trying to say is he most of the time comes to try resolution, to try to get a resolution to our conflict, which in turn helps me to respond to him coming to me or him saying, you know what, I have this thing, it's on my Facebook. When we originated, we first started Facebook, where you can put a quote or something about yourself. Mm-hmm. And what I have on there is the person who is in the right should be the one to apologize. And, people would see that and they'd be like, what you mean? Why I'm apologizing when I was right? But the deeper thought of that is, if you're right, you're in a better headspace. If you're having conflict with somebody, if you're right, you're calmer, you're more calm, mm-hmm. and you're more apt to listen than the person who is wrong and angry and upset. But there's nothing wrong with you being the resolver.
Sure, we'll make that a word. I don't know if it is one.
I don't think it's a
Sure
word.
It might be. It is now.
There's nothing wrong with you being the person in the relationship that initiates resolving a problem. You know, sometimes we get to, and sometimes he does say that he was like, it's like I'm always the one coming to you saying sorry, but it's not so much that he's complaining about it. He's making a note of it because it is true, which means I should react to that. My response to that. So my point is, because it's in my head, it's going, yeah. My point is, my point is, if you are here for the purpose of the other person, if you are here for a reason and the relationship is about y'all being together and getting back to happy in that oneness, you can't say, or you shouldn't say, I'm always the one that's fixing it. I'm always the one that's apologizing. I'm always the one. Because you may be the one who brings peace and harmony and solitude to the relationship. And in this case, just being transparent, is him.
Sound like she's trying to butter me up, y'all.
It's him. That's all you do, buddy. It don't take much.
You don't take much. I'm easy.
No, but very easy.
Easy for her.
But my point is, if you're here for the right reason, it does not matter that I'm the one, because what you're looking at is you want your spouse to know that in this thing of conflict, I'm going to fight fair and I'm fighting for us because we are a team. And at the end of the day, whether I say sorry first or you say sorry first, our goal should be the same goal. We can agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, we should have some resolution.
Mm-hmm.
We should have some understanding of one another. We may not change how we think and what we may do with that particular situation, but the next situation may say, you know what? I realize this is how he's feeling and what he's looking for from me. So it's okay to be the one that's always initiating, because we say we carry one another, right?
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't pick and choose what you're going to carry your spouse in and with. We have traits that are different. Some are stronger than others. Some are stronger in me. I have the force. You know that, right? Some are stronger in him.
There are no droids in this shit.
That just kept sticking with me. I'm sorry. I know I kind of went around to get there. I tend to do it sometimes. That's because it's in my head.
Been around the world and I
I
still don't understand. I just went. I understand what you're saying. No, I understand. You always get there. You know, we just pack a lunch. So
at least you're not hungry on the way.
So one of the other rules is no hurting him or her is hurting self.
Hurting yourself.
So, like I said earlier, there is a part of that idea that we agree that there is the idea that when you are with a spouse, that spouse becomes a reflection of you. When you see how your spouse is reacting in public towards people in different situations, they're doing that because of how you frame them. And life is filled with frames. How we frame every situation is how we see it, how we come out of it, and how we respond to everything. So if your spouse is hurting, you're hurting, and you're hurting yourself, because it all is going to come back to you. It's going to come back on you. This is why you don't call them a name, because that name calling comes back on you. It's kind of like when you see people saying, if you call any woman a B, remember you have a sister, a daughter, a aunt, a mother. Call them the same thing, right? So if you have, when your wife is part of you, your husband is part of you, if he's lazy, good for nothing, you are lazy, good for nothing, because he's that reflection of you. You can be like, oh, I got this going on and that going on, but you chose him.
Right.
Or you chose her. But you picked that person. You pick them based on a reflection of yourself. And let's be real, people. We're gonna be real. This ain't gonna be this. Y'all gonna disagree with me on this, but I don't care because y'all wrong. If you disagree with me, everyone is selfish. Everyone
facts.
is selfish. No one says, "Well, I'm getting into a relationship because I just want to make someone else happy." No, Joker. You got into a relationship because you want to be happy. You want that camaraderie. You want that companion. It's really all about you.
You don't want to be lonely. You don't want to be alone.
It's about you. You want sex in the house. I have to go out and get it.
Mm-hmm.
You want it. You do. It's all about you. So when you think about it, if it's all about you, then why would you cultivate a relationship or situation that's constantly hurting you? Because if you are looking to pick a fight, if you are looking to there's a difference between criticizing and constructive criticism, and there's a way you do both. But if you're criticizing to hurt the person, problems in the house, if you're always looking for something, and you go, normally I name names, but I'm not gonna name a name. It amazes me when I see people, I'm gonna use a generic term, people who will constantly accuse of something that they're not doing. Constantly look for an opportunity to blame them for something, and yet all they're doing is creating stress for themselves. I've seen, and here's the thing, you then will create the exact thing that you don't want to have. It works the same way with parents. I've seen parents who are so afraid of creating something in their child, they wind up creating it in their child. In the same way, I have seen, thanks DJ, I have seen, where I've seen spouses who constantly accuse their spouse of cheating, of infidelity. Not that the other person has the right to go commit the infidelity. Let's face it, we're all human. But you're not going to be able to keep telling somebody, I know you're cheating, I know you're cheating, I know you're cheating, and you going all behind them and you accusing them of everything under the sun. Eventually they're going to cheat. And when they do, you created it because you pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And sometimes it's just like, you from New York. It's just like stop and frisk, right? I'm going to go long-winded just for a second.
Oh, are you?
Look. And maybe y'all will get it by understanding stop and frisk and why stop and frisk is such a horrible thing. But I want you to apply this to a relationship, okay? And I'm going to give it to you actually in the short version. Stop and frisk is a New York policy that has created more criminals than it has actually put in jail. Here's why. A 12-year-old boy, black boy, is walking down the street. The police had the right to just come up and stop and frisk the boy. No provocation, no call, just stop and frisk. The police do this to the little black boy 5 times, 10 times, 12 times, 20 times, 30 times. 6 months have gone by, and this same little black boy has been stopped and frisked by the cops over and over, once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. At some point, he breaks and say, I'm not going to be humiliated like this again. And the little boy decides, I'm going to run. But now he's running. Now he's disobeying, he's been disorderly. Now there are real charges put on this little boy. Now the little boy goes to jail. Now he's in jail. Then while he's in jail, now he learned how to be a real criminal. Now he gets a criminal record. He gets out. He can't get a job because he's just been in jail, or he got to get a low-paying job. So, but what looks good to him? Criminal activity. So now he becomes a criminal, and he goes in and out of jail, in and out, in and out. Why? Because cop had the right to come and stop and frisk him when he wasn't doing nothing but being a 12-year-old boy walking down the street, hanging out with his friends, playing basketball, doing whatever he was doing. Think about that in a marriage. If you constantly are looking for something to cause an argument, a disruption, disharmony within the marriage, eventually the person will break. Their break is either going to be, I don't want to be with you no more. Their break is going to be, well, fine, we're just going to argue all the time, and this marriage is going to suck, and we're just going to be mad all the time. Or they're going to actually go out and do the very thing that you've been accusing them of. And it's not just cheating. Accusing them of being slothful. Accusing them of spending money incorrectly. Accusing them of not keeping something organized all the time. Just things that are not death or dying, but really it's something that's in you that you need to deal with. We all got some insecurity. Everyone has an insecurity. But when we project our insecurities out onto our mate, we will force our mate to actually become the exact thing we fear, the exact thing we're scared of. As a plug, I am doing a live, one of my lives on my channels called the six fears. But we will project that onto a person, and then the next thing you know, you created the very thing that you didn't want, and then you start saying, "See, that's all men and all women are this and all of it. I knew I shouldn't. I just might well be by myself." Yeah, you do need to be by yourself. So know that whatever you're doing that's hurting them, really, you're hurting yourself, and you're probably pushing the hurt that you already got within yourself onto someone else.
Right.
Preach, preacher.
So the last point in the rules: keep your vision of the marriage in mind. When dealing with conflict, keep your vision of the marriage in mind. Why are you here? I say it all the time.
Why are you here?
Why are you here?
Yeah. I got married to be happy. You should always have that conversation. Should always be going, because it's ever evolving. You know, the constant in the universe is that change happens. Nothing stays still. Nothing stays the same. Right? So
I get married because I want to get it all the time.
You just want to get it all the time. But girl, you know I got it. I get to you all the time. She gonna get something nice. We married.
We married.
Get something nice. But for real, I mean, that is one of the reasons. But and that's a legit thing. That there's nothing. Here's the thing. Whatever your reason, don't be saying bye, Kenyatta. Whatever your reasons, and that's the thing. Don't let nobody tell you your reasons for getting married is not good.
Mm-hmm.
If your reason for getting married is just, I don't want to be by myself. I want somebody I can go bowling with. Let that be. I want somebody I can build a financial kingdom with. Whatever your stockpile of reasons that you got married or that you see marriage,
those
let it be. Because I mean,
my sister said, "Yes, ma'am."
I got one of the reasons I got married because I want somebody that I can go and do stupid stuff with. That's actually on my list. Do stupid stuff. Or at least stand there and watch me do the stupid stuff. Because she ain't gonna do all the stupid stuff I'm gonna do. I'll do some stupid
stuff.
But is whatever your reason.
Make sure the policy is in place.
Yeah. And when it comes to conflict, I personally, I can't do arguments all the time. If I can't. We can have discussions all the time. We can have debates all the time. But we cannot not have arguments. And that takes time. You have to grow with the person, grow into a person for y'all to come in and think about it. There's 8 billion people on the planet. You expect 2 people just come together and they just identify.
Yeah. All the time.
Yeah, no, you got to learn how to do that. When you see couples, but here's the thing, and this is another thing from Napoleon Hill's book. When you see a couple who's like that, it's because they have a definiteness of purpose to be that.
To do that.
Whatever you decide to focus on and be, that's why we did the exercise earlier. Look around, see all the red, close your eyes, tell me what was brown in the room. When you have a definiteness of purpose of a goal of what you want to be, and both of you are in agreement with it, then that keeps you on that path. That will keep you focused on it. I talk about, she don't know, I'll be doing a Jedi mind trick. I'll talk about all the great stuff we're going to be doing later on, as we continue to grow in this marriage. When we buy that big RV and we just driving around the country, then, we're going to have the businesses running without us. And we just going to be doing our digital nomad thing. Marriage Monday, we're like, okay, guys, Marriage Monday in
Dubai.
Yeah, Marriage Monday over here and over there. Dubai, So, yeah, I prefer conversations as well. But all those things are keeping the vision, keeping the focus of why are we together.
And DJ, contrary to most men's belief, women think the same way.
What? I prefer.
They hate arguing. Prefer to have a conversation.
Yeah, I prefer. And I will say this, we didn't put this on here at all. But one of the rules I would say is develop how to communicate with your spouse. All right. However you communicate with other people ain't got nothing to do with how you communicate with your spouse.
Right.
I know that when I got employees, I communicate with them differently than I communicate with my spouse. I'm not gonna talk to my spouse like she's an employee. When I communicate with the kids, even though all of them are grown except for the toddler. I communicate with them differently than I'm going to communicate with my spouse. It's all different. You have to. And one of the things that I love, and I use this to raise my children actually, and I just try to use this period, is you ever read the book 1 Minute Manager?
Yeah.
All right. If you guys ever read the book 1 Minute Manager, it's a great book. But basically, you uplift the person, you praise the person, criticize the activity or the activity or the character or the action, and then you uplift the person. So it's like, honey, I love you and you are an amazing wife, but we are not going to waste money on a rental vehicle because that's just a waste of money. Because I know that we're going to have fun when we're there and we're going to have this great time because we have so much fun together. See? Now she ready to drive our regular car down there. But it does work. I mean, it works.
It does. Yeah. It does. I have not read the book, but I've definitely learned that behavior. Having people, I hate to say people work for me. I always want to say my coworkers because they are my coworkers. But
they're your employees.
Then I get it. I know. But having employees, I've learned that tactic as well, and it makes sense. It makes sense because you do want to because people make mistakes and do things wrong, but you don't want to put that onto their character and who they are.
And if you want to inspire people, that's how you're going to have to do it when you have to provide correction. DJ on Instagram said, "Oh, dang." Sometimes she tells me I need to have better communication skills within our marriage.
Which means, DJ, you should, because she's on the receiving end. And what she's feeling and what you're saying and how you're communicating based on how it makes her feel.
Yep. And I say all the time, it is not the responsibility of the listener to understand you. It is your responsibility as the communicator to make sure that the listener understands you.
He says certain topics I just don't want to talk about, but she believes that I should tell her about it.
That sounds a little personal.
And it's fine, it is personal. Yeah. DJ, certain topics you don't want to talk about. So you have to find a way to express to her that I love you and I appreciate you for caring. But this is something, for whatever reason, that I would really not like to talk about. And let's talk about this as opposed to that.
Right.
But help her to reassure her that you appreciate the fact that she even wants to acknowledge it, that she's thinking about you.
Yeah. But but just not something that because there are subject matters that I don't care. And then
she has to respect that. She has to respect that. And just tell her, babe, I love you. Just please respect my feelings on this.
And I always try to get to the root of why she wants to talk about it or why she feels like you need to tell her. Because the root of it may have something to do with her past. We talked about traumas in a video, one of the videos. And sometimes we are dealing with the fruits and the branches of the tree instead of dealing with the roots of the tree. So there may be an issue that she had to deal with or that she's watched. Like if it's a trust issue, it may not be that she don't trust you. It's just the fact that maybe she saw her father cheating on her mom, or saw her mom cheating on her father, or she was cheated on, or anything like that.
Right. But DJ, because being that we don't know what the topic, the topic of that is that she wants to talk about, and you do, more in depth to that. Just consider how you respond to her with that.
Right. Always in love.
Always in love.
Yep.
It has to be. Unless you decide, unless you're planning on going somewhere, taking these off and ending it. I'm talking to myself most of the time. You gotta get it right. You gotta get it right. Stop looking at me like that. I didn't. Because I was studying you. Yeah. I was mad at him, y'all.
Whatever.
He said something that hurt my feelings. He still don't know he hurt my feelings, but we're going to talk about it.
No, we not.
Oh, we're not gonna talk
No,
about it?
y'all don't know. After the cameras go off, we always gotta have a discussion. We not talking about
Because this is great. Look, this is not for y'all.
it.
I promise you, all of these topics that we talk about. This is week 5.
Yeah, even if we didn't
Week
plan,
6?
even if we didn't plan on having a conversation afterwards, we always want.
We always do. It just brings out points and things that
Yeah, I mean, you just
that hit home.
The beauty of this is that if you guys are watching, we're hoping that you're discovering things about yourself just as much as we are discovering things about ourselves each time we have these discussions.
Right.
Because it takes us into a deeper level that we haven't gotten to. And sometimes you guys' comments also help to take us to a deeper level that we haven't gotten
So
to.
technically, we could be using y'all to fast forward through all this foolishness that we have to deal with.
Thank you for your
We appreciate it. Yeah, we got free therapy.
I
That
know.
didn't cost nothing. It's usually like how much an hour?
I know you might want to use that to rent a vehicle. Anyway, we appreciate y'all. We about to get off here. And Claudette, if
helping
you on
others helps yourself. She's on here. She said
Claudette,
helping others helps yourself.
there's a box. I don't know where Claudette is. Is she on Facebook?
She's texting me.
I know she's texting. But
No, I think they're on YouTube.
In the comments section.
They're on YouTube.
You can type, comment, type.
But they may be watching on the TV. That's Mommy's thing. She's on her TV. She streams on her TV. But yeah, y'all can type in the comment thing. But that's okay. You can say it like this.
Because typing actually helps the channel. No. Typing actually helps the channel.
Tell Kamari to help. Claudette is my sister, y'all.
Claudette is my sister, y'all.
Guys, appreciate
we appreciate you too.
Night.
We about to get off here too.
Yeah, we stayed on way too long. It is 10:30. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for being here.
Appreciate you.
Remember, go and RSVP. DJ, you bring the wife. Y'all come to the wedding. Go to Tag Team
Marriage.
No. TagTeamWedding.com.
Oh, TagTeamWedding.com.
And submit your RSVP for the grand weekend.
I said that's so wrong.
Next year.
Yes,
you all are invited.
Everybody's invited.
Love you guys.
Wolfgang Puck Catering.
See y'all next time. Good night.
Good night, Squiggly.
That's not Squiggly. That's Kenyatta. That's not Kiana.
Oh, KKK.
That's the other K. It's
all
3.
God,
Yeah, all 3 the K's. The 3 K's.
Oh, yeah, whichever one you want. Good night. God, that would be easy.